Avery Bradley would be the first like tier 1 guy I'm thinking of. He would be the perfect fit. And he's only 27. So, I mean, what they could do is, so one thing, you could probably just bring Avery Bradley in on like a 1-year deal if you wanted to, like a JJ Redick type deal that he signed with the Sixers last year. Just like 1 year for a lot of money. And I think that would be the best route because with the Suns, we don't know what we're going to get. I think for now we have our foundation. Like we have the core. The core is there. And you're going to want to add on. But you don't want to add on too early because you want to keep your options open for free agency after you see how guys work together on the team and things like that. So you could probably bring him in for like a 2 or 3 year deal because he's 27. But I think a 1-year deal would be perfect, maybe with like an option if you wanted to bring him back again. So let's go with another tier 1 guy, another Boston guy, Bradley's a former Boston, but a Boston guy, Marcus Smart. He's only 24, and he's a restricted free agent. So you would have to lure him out of Boston, probably with a pretty hefty deal, but maybe not because. I mean, Boston has, so they have Rozier now out the one. They have Kyrie coming back. Kyrie's always hurt, though, so they could. But that roster is pretty deep. So I could see them, not matching a deal for, like, a lot of money for Smart because they do have such a loaded roster. And they might even make a bunch of trades. So they might want to keep their options open financially and stay flexible that way just in case they go after a big-name guy. So you would have to pay Marcus Smart a lot. But you could probably give him a longer deal because he is 24, and you know what you get from Marcus Smart. Another combo guard. He can handle it. He's not as great a shooter as Bradley is, but he can hold his own. I mean, he showed it in the playoffs. He can hit big shots. He can hold his own. Again, great defense. Plays tough, gets rebounds, all of that stuff. So that would be a good option, I think. Let me see if there's any other like tier 1 guys. And there's a lot of guys that I'm just excluding immediately. Like I said before, like Tony Parker, Chris Paul. Dwayne Wade is not going to sign here. That would be amazing, but he's not going to sign here. Let's see who else we have. So I don't see anybody else that would fit like that tier 1 mode. Zach LaVine, that's not going to work. He'll probably get a max from Chicago. So that's out of the question. So like tier 2. So like here's a tier 2 option. Tyreke Evans. So Tyreke Evans he was great for the Grizzlies last year. But that's another guy that's always hurt, man. He's just always hurt. But when he's on the court, he's super effective, super productive. Basically like a triple-double threat, honestly. He really does everything. He can pass it, he can score, he rebounds, he does all of that stuff. And he can play the wing. So, if you did want to, have Booker on the show, you can kind of just like, have Evans kind of play the side role. Because Evans would probably start if you did pick up Evans and he was healthy. He'd probably start at the 1 over B-Night. But that would probably be like another guy you bring in on like a 1-year deal because he's just never healthy. You never know what you're going to get from him. But that would be a good pickup, I think. It gives you that ball handler, and he is a vet as well. He's 28, but he's a vet. He's been in the league a while. Former Rookie of the Year, so. Another guy, Seth Curry. Wow, Seth Curry would be a great pickup. So, Seth Curry, another guy that was hurt last year. I don't even know what he was. Let me see what his injury was because I know he was out the whole year, but I don't know why. Tibia fracture. Ooh. So, yeah. So, he was out the whole year, but, man, so he could really shoot it, though. He can handle the ball as well. You could probably give him, like, a little bit of a longer deal if you wanted to, but he'd be good off the bench. I think he's definitely going to be able to come in and knock threes down, play the 1. I mean, yeah, and he's played for Phoenix before. We had him, like, when he was fresh in the league. And I liked him at that time as well. I felt like, guys just didn't give him a chance. And Dallas gave him a chance, 2 years ago before the injury, and he really showed out. He's a good player. So that would be another guy, I think. That would be like a tier 2 guy. Let's see if there's anybody else that would fit like the tier 2 mode. Nobody else really, but there is like... So there's other guys that are a little bit older. So let's say this is the tier 3. So tier 3, Jamal Crawford. So Jamal Crawford would be like a vet presence for sure. He handle the ball, he could do everything, combo guard. But he is older, so you probably want to bring him in on a shorter deal. 1-year deal would be preferable. That would be a great pickup as well if you can't get the other guys. Get Jamal in here. Who's another tier 3 older guy? Devin Harris. Devin Harris would probably be a pretty good pickup. Backup vet point guard. He can handle that role. He has championship pedigree as well with Dallas. So you could probably bring him in, for relatively cheap on like a 1-year deal. Just to back up night and have somebody to run that second unit. Let me see if there's anybody else that the Suns could potentially pick up. Lance Stephenson? Probably not. Lance Stephenson. Will Barton. And Dwayne Wade that would be awesome, but that wouldn't happen, I don't think. Jose Calderon, nah. So that would probably be it. Looking through the free agency, those would probably be the top guys. But Avery Bradley definitely being the top guy. If we could somehow get Avery Bradley here, that would be terrific. So the other need, I think. So at this point, we don't know what the starting 5 is, but I would assume it's going to be Dragon Bender at the 4. And I would prefer to have Dragon Bender off the bench. Just to, I don't want to throw him into the fire like that. That didn't work out like with Coach Watson. He was starting everybody, man, rookies, and I didn't think that was good for him. And it showed it wasn't good for him. The guys didn't get better. They got to work their way up. So let's see if we can have somebody that can start at that 4. Start at the power forward position. So first guy, I already know, like tier 1 guy right here, Aaron Gordon. So Aaron Gordon is 22. He is a restricted free agent. But, if you wanted to go all in, you could give Aaron Gordon a max deal. And it might be worth a chance because he's only 22. He had a great season last year. He can do everything that you want from a stretch 4 and then some. He has athleticism. That would probably be a pretty good pickup. You would have to clear cap space to bring him in on a max deal. But, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of guys that can move with the expiring contracts and things like that. So they could open up the cap space if they did want to make a big splash like that for Gordon. Who's another? So another guy, Jabari Parker, would probably be like a tier 1 pickup. Jabari's an elite scorer, man. The only thing about Jabari is another guy, he just can't stay healthy. But I can tell you one thing for sure. He is a restricted free agent, but I don't think he's coming back to Milwaukee. I think if somebody offers him or signs him to the right, offer sheet, I don't think Milwaukee will match it because I don't think that was working out, man. He didn't even play in the playoffs that much. He was getting like sporadic minutes here and there, and Jabari the Bucks really had it backwards, to be honest. Like, Giannis is a great player, don't get me wrong. I love Giannis, but Jabari should be running that show. Like, as far as scoring, like, Jabari is a better scorer than Giannis. He just, I don't think they wanted to give him the keys. He can't stay healthy. It makes sense, but if you did want to take a chance on Jabari, if the Suns did, probably wouldn't require a max deal, but pretty close to it. It just, are you willing to give him that type of deal knowing his injury history? You could take a chance if you wanted to, but like I said, I think we still do want to keep our options open for moving forward because we don't know what kind of team we have. The only thing we know is it should be up from here on out. It should be, getting better every year and then kind of filling in the pieces as we go. So, if you did want to make a big splash, those would probably be the tier 1 guys. Let's see who could fill like the tier 2 role. So let's look at some vets. Like, I want to bring in a vet. Channing Frye. Channing Frye would be he's played in Phoenix before. That would make a lot of sense. He could hit the 3. Veteran. I don't know if he would start over Dragon Bender, but he would definitely play. He would definitely have that role where he's gonna come in and do what he has to do. But more important, it's really just for the vet leadership, man. We really just need some vet guys in here to surround these young guys with, guys that have been here before. So that would be a good option. That would probably be like a tier 2 option, Channing Frye. Another tier 2 option I'm looking at is Ersan Ilyasova. That could potentially, he played pretty good in the playoffs for Philly last year. Similar to Chandler, he's really just like a stretch forward. He'll hit the open three. And just a veteran, and he's probably not gonna be like a leader, but he'll come in and, like I said, just surround those guys with somebody that's been around before. That's super beneficial at this point because the roster is so young. So Ilyasova is an option. Let me see if I see anybody else. Yeah, I don't see anybody else. Julius Randle, I don't think that would be a good fit. I wouldn't want Julius Randle. There's Nemanja Bjelica from the T-Wolves, but Nemanja Bjelica really is very similar to Bender. He's really what Bender should be at this point. Just a guy that can handle the ball. That's like, a 4, but he can handle the ball. He can shoot it. So he's too similar to Bender. I probably wouldn't want to bring him in, but. So that'd probably be it. Let's look at like tier 3 options. Somebody that we could just give like a chance to and just kind of change up the roster a bit if we decided to go that route. So a guy I see is Jeremy Grant from Oklahoma City. He's only 24. He can hit the 3, so he is kind of a stretch 4. He could hit the 3, but he's more so in there for like, he gets a lot of offensive rebounds. He plays hard. Gets a lot of dunks, so he can always catch a lob and things like that. So that could be an option if you did want to just like, get rid of like a lot of young guys and just bring in some new young guys. That would be an option, I think, but probably not likely. Like I said, I think the goal is to bring in veteran guys, just to kind of, to show these young guys, man, the roster is just too young. But either way, like, I think it's just going to be some drastic changes, man. Like, it's going to be some drastic changes. I'm real excited for the season. Super excited. The free agency hasn't even started yet. We had a great draft.